Is my phone off?
And we're live.
All right. Looks like we're live. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Urell of the Video Creators Lounge, and we are here for the first ever Video Creators Lounge Presents. It's a special event thought up by, originally by our fearless leader. You can't see him. He's off camera right now. Our fearless leader, Justin DeVideo. He had a lot of musician friends, saw that, they couldn't be gigging anymore because of COVID and all that's going on. So he wanted to have every Friday, if he could, have a musician come in. We'd ask him a couple of questions, and they perform. And it would be the closest thing we can do for an actual concert. So today we have Martin with us today. So just a few things. Usually we're trying to do our news roundup like we did a couple weeks ago. We were going to continue with that. We'll see if we can do that tonight. Fortunately, we ran into some technical difficulties. I won't go deeper into that. So I told somebody to come at noon, but they came at 6 instead. But we'll get to the news show as soon as possible, guys. We are going to keep it going. We do have a lot of opportunities. We've been news for you. We'll if we're not able to make a short news roundup like last time, we'll post all the links and opportunities on social media. But I think that's the only housekeeping issue. With everything else, let's go right into it. Martin Guas is a singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist from La Plata, Argentina. Surrounded by musicians and instruments in his parents' music shop, he started his musical education when he was only 3 years old. As a recipient of a full scholarship, he has recently finished his studies at Berklee College of Music in Boston, and is versatile in the guitar and piano alongside his captivating voice. Martin Guas' music and his lyrical writing are deeply rooted in Latin American folk. With contemporary productions influenced by his current environment in the United States, he brings his music to the present. Over the past few years, Martin has shared the stage and recorded with renowned musicians such as John Legend, Larry Klein, Elling, Oskar, Zakiya Hooker, Javier Limón, and many others. I'd like to present Mr. Martin Guas. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you, studio audience. So, Martin, thank you so much for coming down today. I know it's been a crazy setup. We kept you waiting for a long time, but thank you for being a good sport. You've been having great energy. I just wanted to ask, get everyone to know you a little bit before we get into the performance, which is everyone wants to hear. So you're a multi-talented musician, as we just hit. You're primarily play piano, guitar, and vocals, correct?
Yep.
So which genre do you primarily identify with?
My roots are more folk, Latin American folk music. I found out when I moved here that I was feeling more attached to it, and I started to find a lot of things that in my whole life in my country I couldn't find, because I was surrounded just by that. But just coming here, I felt that the only thing that made me different from the rest was where I come from and my roots.
And how long have you been in the States for?
Since 2017.
2017, so for like 3 years now. And you've the whole time you've been going to college, studying at Berklee?
Yes. I've been taking a couple of semesters off to travel and perform, but basically I've been living here.
And what was your major at Berklee?
Performance.
And you're all done. You finished with the college.
I'm done.
Oh, dude, congratulations! I just graduated this past semester too, and I'm sure you had a great commencement ceremony. You got to see all your friends.
No. We didn't get to see anyone.
Yeah,
of course. But yeah, just in a camp.
So, with everything crazy going on, how have you been spending your time? You've been, I'm guessing, gigging has been really difficult.
So gigs, when it happens, summer is always the best time for us to perform. Berklee has some programs, summer in the city. We perform around the city. There are a couple of tours always. That didn't happen. So we've been focusing more in working out or just doing something. No, I've been trying to find myself more in writing, composing, things that normally you don't have time when you're in your daily life. Then now we find all this available time. We don't know what to do. with that sometimes.
So you're, instead of, since you can't perform, you're more focusing on making music and finding.
Yeah. In fact, like live stream has not been like my thing. But here I am.
It's all about learning new experiences. You got to adapt in these crazy times.
Yeah.
So what are the biggest differences between the Argentinian and American music scene? Because you're saying big into folk music. Over here, the folk movement we're kind of past it at this point. What have you noticed? Like, what are the main key differences you see?
I think Argentina in particular is very specific with the music. That's one of the reasons, because Argentinian music is not very popular in the world, not even like in the Latin American world. Like if you go, Mexico is like the 60% of the market of the Latin American music, and most of the people from the rest of Latin America don't know a lot about Argentinian music. It was really popular, the rock pop bands from the 70s, 80s. But right now, I don't know, it just has its own vibe, and it's really hard to fit that in a market that is not Argentinian market. And I feel like here in the United States, you will find an audience for everything, which is great. And also that makes a space to combine genres that you will never think that it will be possible to mix or to play with.
Where have you found the mix happening? Like maybe rock bands or?
For example, with all the roots music from different parts of the world, you will find a lot of influences from different genres, like from blues, of course, because everything can come from there. But I found myself like in the Berklee environment where I found people from different countries, and they were all having the language of the blue jazz music, but their own roots. And I think that in our hometowns, it's really hard to have the possibility to express and to combine all those genres, because maybe the country is not that cosmopolitan or.
Oh, it's really interesting because I went down to school right down the street from Berklee, and we'd always us Emerson kids were known to be filmmakers, so we'd always try to link up with Berklee kids to make our scores for our movies. And when I was hanging out there, it's like you have all these different kids. You have a heavy metal nerd mixing recordings for a classical music violinist, and you have this melding of different cultures and different influences to create something truly unique. It's really I wish I spent more time at Berklee is what I'm trying to say when we're still going to college. So where do you get most of your musical inspiration? Do you feel like it's more from your upbringing? I mean, you did mention your bio.
I have a couple of people that I always try to go to listen more than. I think the inspiration doesn't really come from musicians, it comes from life, from the journey that you have, things you live, experiences, people you meet. Of course, I have like references like Prince, Stevie Wonder, people like them that you kind of really admire their process, their search of identity, how they really became someone different in this huge world. But yeah, I think most of the inspiration comes from this interaction, feelings, meeting people, going through things that you didn't expect to live, or just listening to someone that went through things that you are surprised by. Everything can be an inspiration for.
Art reflects life. You said you're a Stevie Wonder fan?
I like Stevie Wonder, yeah.
You have good taste. We both have good taste. So do you have? We're almost done. Don't worry. So where? Just real quick before we get into the meat of the performance. What do you have any news coming up? Any new EPs? You said you were writing some stuff.
I just released a single in Esta Carta that is available on Spotify. That was released in May. It's a pre-candidate for the Latin Grammys, so it's to be considered for that.
You're getting considered for a Grammy?
For the Latin Grammys, yeah.
Is that like a local?
It's like a pre-selection.
Pre-selection?
Yeah.
Still one more
It's
Grammy selection I've got, man.
So at the end of August, beginning of September, we are gonna launch in Creo, which is gonna be the last release, and I'm really, really, really excited.
And
the song is ready. I'm working on the video clip, and it's gonna be a controversial thing.
Oh, all right. Hey, you know, if you're not being controversial, you're not being a good artist. So everyone can find your work on your Spotify account?
Yeah. Martin.Guas. Also on Facebook, Spotify, iTunes. But mostly the accounts that I keep most updated with news and release are Spotify and Instagram.
All right. So everyone check them out as your Instagram and his Spotify. What's your handle on Instagram?
Sorry?
What's your Instagram handle?
Yeah, Martin.Guas. Martin.Guas.
All right. Sweet. So without further ado, I'll walk off and get out of everyone's way. Without further ado, Martin Guas, everyone.
Thank you.
Me lleve la vida, la ruta del pan, y ella falte a cuidarme y no esté su consejo, ni esa voz que a la sangre sabe dar. Abre un cerco a mi espalda con mi forma y con alas, y que ángel se llama y es mi bien. Dijo también que aquel ángel, invisible a todos y también a mí, el que en aires de sombra con un viento en el alma me darían su sabia la verdad. Y así fue que seguro me eché rumbo a la vida por la fuerza del ángel en mi andar. Después con el tiempo me fui por soles que van a la ansiedad. Lo perdí por la infancia, de la escuela a la casa, tiempo ayer. Soledad del engaño, de luchar por los sueños, la verdad que del hombre no se dio. Me rompe las noches en un ángel de alcohol. Me desangro en las mesas y la luz de un amigo es el ángel que guarda mi dolor. Y la calle me junta con un ángel distinto, con un hombre cualquiera como yo. Duele saber que la cosa que quise de niño era piel de ilusión, y que el ángel camina con la luz del cansancio que nos trepa la vida por luchar. y se muere el relato de la madre que un día nos dio un ángel de guía con su luz. Después con el tiempo me fui por soles que van a la ansiedad, pero el ángel no estaba, lo perdí por la infancia, de la escuela a la casa, tiempo ayer. Soledad del engaño, de luchar por los sueños, la verdad que del hombre no se dio.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. That was one of the folk songs that was always my inspiration. It's called Samba del Ángel. It's an Argentinian tune. I tend to start a lot with this song because it reminds me why do we do music. So, yep, I'll be sharing a couple of more songs with you guys. Next song is called Hoy Te Vas. Also, you can find it on Spotify.
Quiero sentir el aire de tus abrazos. Quiero abrazar la nube y el mar descalzo y preguntarme cómo, que dónde fue, que no fue total. Cuando es que un agua dejó de usar un abecedario. Quiero entender el cómo, el por qué y el cuándo. Quiero más noche fría de melodía que te cautive. Quiero la luna llena contigo, aunque me asusté. Creo que en el silencio entenderé lo que es amarte. Nunca entendí por qué la soledad nos pesa tanto, ni entenderé qué hacer cuando tu amor suelte mi mano. Hoy te vas, hoy te vas. Quiero todos tus miedos y tus pretextos. Quiero tus tonterías y tus defectos. Quiero entender qué es lo que ha pasado, para que no haya nada para acabarlo. Quiero que un aguacero me dé retazos de este universo loco que dibujamos. Quiero que un día de esto me dé la mano y perderlo todo hasta encontrarnos. Nunca entendí por qué la soledad nos pesa tanto, ni entenderé qué hacer cuando tu amor suelte mi mano. Nunca entendí por qué la soledad nos pesa tanto, ni entenderé qué hacer cuando tu amor suelte mi mano. Hoy te vas, te vas. Hoy te vas, te vas, te vas.
Well, as I was telling before, I think music is built by journeys and experiences. This song is called Pasaporte, and it's a little bit about all the travels in my life that I have a couple. So, hope you enjoy it.
casa de los sueños, crecí en la soledad y con mi cuenta en cero. Si yo te tengo ya no tengo miedo, si yo te tengo hasta me sobran versos. Si yo te tengo, tengo todo lo que quiero. De los sueños, crecí en la soledad y con mi cuenta en cero. Si tengo calma, pero tengo lo que siento. No tengo nada, pero tengo tiempo. La casa de los sueños, crecí en la soledad y con mi cuenta en cero. Si yo te tengo, ya no tengo miedo. Si yo te tengo, ya me sobran versos. Si yo te tengo, tengo todo lo que quiero. Si yo te tengo, ya no tengo miedo. Si yo te tengo, hasta me sobran versos. Si yo te tengo, tengo todo lo que quiero. Tengo todo lo que quiero. Tengo todo lo que quiero. Thank you very much. So the next song is a song that I had the pleasure to work with Guy, which is behind the scenes right now. He did the video for the song. That song was released 31st May, and it's a little bit about a letter. We always have written a letter saying goodbye. For good reasons, for bad reasons, but sometimes it has come the time to go, and we have to go, we have to leave, and this is about. que no quiera. Si me preguntan por la manera, quizá no entienda la respuesta. Si me preguntan de dónde vengo, quizá no importe. Si lo que siento en esta carta escribo yo, no es la distancia, es el amor, no es la impaciencia, es el dolor, y lo repito, no soy yo. Que sean tus ojos los de los dos, que sea el destino que nos unió, que sean los astros, no es que me importe, que sea el silencio para amarte. En esta cama en donde escribo las mil preguntas respondidas. Si me cuestiona por la manera, quizá no entienda la respuesta. Si me preguntan de dónde vengo, quizá no importe. Si lo que siento en esta carta escribo yo, no es la distancia, es el amor, no es la impaciencia, es el dolor, y lo repito, no soy yo. Que sean tus ojos los de los dos, que sea el destino que nos unió, que sean los astros, no es que me importe, que sea el silencio para amarte. En esta carta escribo yo, no es la distancia, es el amor, no es la impaciencia, es el dolor, y lo repito, no soy yo. Que sean tus ojos los de los dos, que sea el destino que nos unió, que sean los astros, no es que me importe, que sea el silencio para amarte. Thank you. So I'm gonna play the last song. I don't play this often because it's not what I play, but this is one of my favorite tunes. It's in an alternate tuning. And it's based on a poetry from Alfonsina Storni, which was a big fighter for women's rights in the beginnings of 1900. So I just put music to some beautiful words that she wrote about nature and the relationship with women. Thank you for having me. Thank you everyone for all the amenities of the place. I'm very grateful. Hacia los bosques, vete a la montaña, límpiate la boca, vive en la cabaña, toca con 2 golpes la puerta mojada, alimenta el río con sabor amarga. Oye hacia los bosques, vete a la montaña, límpiate la boca, vive en la cabaña, toca con 2 manos la tierra mojada, alimenta el cuerpo con raíz amarga. duerme sobre escarcha, renueva tejido con salitre y agua, habla con los pájaros y levanta el alba. Y cuando las carnes te sean tornadas, huye hacia los bosques, vete a la montaña, límpiate la boca, vive en la cabaña, toca con dos manos la tierra mojada, alimenta el cuerpo con raíz amarga. Sobre escarcha, renueva tejido con salitre y agua, habla con los pájaros y levanta el alba. Y cuando las carnes te sean tornadas,
Thank you very much. Thank you so
much, Martin. Give it one more. One more.
Nice work.
Thank you. Great job tonight, man. Thank you so much. Yeah. So that was a heck of a performance. Make sure you check him out on all your social medias. Martin, what's so at for Instagram at Martin Guas. Check him out Facebook at Martin Guas. You're also on Twitter?
I'm not on Twitter.
You're not on Twitter.
No,
Skip Twitter. Oh, am I? Can you get in the middle? How am I framed? Am I good? Oh, you just go back over here. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. We'll have another artist featured next week, probably, hopefully, shooting for Friday. Make sure you follow the Video Creators Lounge on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and in LinkedIn if you want. Twitch, we're also streaming there too. Okay, I'll hurry up, Justin. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. We'll see you guys next week. Good night.